This is Taiwan Cable. I'm Yang Guangshun. Will Donald Trump meet KMT Chair Cheng Li-wun during her visit to the United States? I doubt it. In a recent interview with Bloomberg, Cheng Li-wun said she hopes to meet Trump and deliver a message about peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait, and to gain his support. But here's the question. Trump has a very clear order of priorities when it comes to Taiwan. Economy first, security second, and politics last. If Cheng Li-wun really wants to talk about political arrangement across the strait, that is simply not Trump's focus. And if Trump really wants to discuss political issues, he can directly talk to Xi Jinping on a phone call or face-to-face. Trump does not talk about Taiwan often, but when he does, his message is quite consistent. Before the 2024 presidential election, Trump said that if China attacks Taiwan, he will bomb Beijing. He has also said that Xi Jinping knows what he will do in a Taiwan contingency, and that Xi Jinping once told him China would not attack Taiwan during Trump's presidency. These statements all point to one thing: deterrence. And that is very different from Cheng Li-wun's approach of building a sustainable, irreversible, and institutionalized arrangement for peace. Second, Trump has met very few Taiwanese figures in public, if we don't count his famous phone call with Taiwan's former President Tsai Ing-wen right after he was first elected in 2016. The most recent one people remember is C.C. Wei, the president and CEO of TSMC. And that was during the White House event about TSMC's investment in Arizona last year. Since then, when Trump talks about Taiwan, he mostly talks about economy, TSMC's investment in the United States, Taiwan taking America's chip business, and tariffs on Taiwan. In fact, the biggest development in Taiwan-US relations over the past year has been the agreement on reciprocal trade reached earlier this year. Trump himself was not directly involved in the negotiation of ART, but his Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and Trade Representative Jamieson Greer negotiated directly with the representatives of Taiwan's DPP administration, like a Vice Premier Zheng Lijun. Meanwhile, the KMT, under Cheng Li-wun's leadership, has been more critical of this agreement. Taiwan's legislature, controlled by the opposition parties led by the KMT, has even called for a stricter review of TSMC's U.S. investment and a trade deal. These are not positions Trump is likely to welcome. Finally, Taiwan's defense has been one of the most visible topics in U.S. policy discussions over the past year. It is also one of the few issues that brings together the U.S. government, Congress, and think tanks across party lines. At the same time, Taiwan's opposition parties have cut Taiwan's special defense budgets and boycotted U.S. arms sales to Taiwan, despite Cheng Li-wun's claim that the KMT fully supports arms deals with the United States. This has raised serious concerns in Washington about Taiwan's commitment to its own defense and even criticism against the KMT. Trump does not talk about this issue often, but his position is clear. He wants Taiwan to spend more on defense. He once said Taiwan should spend up to 10% of its GDP on defense, and even suggested Taiwan should pay the United States for protection. During his first term, he approved arms sales to Taiwan, including F-16 fighter jets and M1A2 Abrams tanks. He also said these deals help create jobs in the United States. These views are very different from Cheng Li-wun and KMT, who have taken a more critical stance toward arms sales. So, if Cheng Li-wun wants to meet Trump to discuss a vision of cross-strait peace that differs from his approach after her talk with Xi Jinping, I doubt Trump would be very interested. Of course, I could be wrong. After all, Trump is known for being unpredictable. But like I said, Trump has also been quite consistent when it comes to Taiwan. So let's see if Donald Trump and Cheng Li-wun can surprise us.